In this virtual field trip, we will see how where people live is related to the physical geography of an area. Physical geography refers to things like the latitude of a city, how close the city is to water, and the natural resources that are available and how they are used. We will use maps on Google Earth to infer and describe the relationships between where people live and the physical geography of the area. Geographic features influence where people choose to live. How many people live in an area, or the population density, is influenced by latitude, proximity to water, and the availability of other natural resources. Latitude describes how far north or south a location is on the Earth. This is important because it determines things like temperature. The more temperate or even the temperature is, the easier it is to live in an area. Most people in Utah live in a temperate area. Most people in Utah live in the Salt Lake City area. The white space, called the polygon tool, shows the most densely populated area. This is because of the natural resources nearby.
This outline shows the general area of the Wasatch Mountains. Within the Wasatch Mountain Range are multiple natural resources, including minerals, timber, wildlife, and water. It is also an appreciated recreation area. There are multiple reservoirs that are mainly used to store water for Utah, but are also used for fishing, water skiing, and other recreational activities. Here is a picture of East Canyon Reservoir in the Wasatch Mountains. Utah Lake is a freshwater lake. People live in this area because it is close to the lake, which is used for irrigation and recreation. See this picture? Look at all the people who live near Utah Lake. Saratoga Springs is a city that is next to Utah Lake. We're going to use a tool called the Time Slider to go back in time and see what Saratoga Springs looked like in 1993, when a lot less people lived there. If you look at this picture, you can see there are no visible houses near the lake. Now let's go back to 2011 and see how many people lived there. Now look at all the different homes that have moved into the area. It's a big change over time. Today many people live in Saratoga Springs. We collected some data of the Saratoga Springs population that needs to be represented in a bar graph. The city was incorporated in 1997. In 2000, the population was 1,003. In 2009, the estimates for the population was at 16,125, making it one of the fastest growing U.S. cities during this time. In 2010, the population was 17,781. In groups, make a bar graph representing this data. Determine with your group how much the population grew over the period of time we have data for. The Bingham Copper Mine is a source for copper, and one of the many reasons people live in the Salt Lake City area. Copper is a natural resource used to make pennies, electrical wiring, car parts, and other useful items. This copper mine is one of the world's largest open-pit mines. It is more than 4 kilometers wide and 1,200 meters deep, and it can be seen from outer space. Ancestors of many people living in the Salt Lake area mined in the copper mines, and people still mine there today. Watch this video to learn about the history of the mine. On your own, write a question that could be answered by the video about how people used natural resources from the mine. The Great Salt Lake is very salty. The only thing living in the Great Salt Lake is brine shrimp, because that is the only thing that can live in all that salt. However, it is also a refuge for birds and other shore-dwelling wildlife. The Great Salt Lake has more than just salt, though. Read this article with your group to determine what minerals are in the Great Salt Lake. Then, write down the main idea of the article and at least 3 natural resources, which are key details, from the text.
The natural resources of the Great Salt Lake also made a great environment for the artist Robert Smithson. In 1970, he created an earthwork sculpture called the Spiral Jetty on the northern shore of the lake. It is made out of a local rock called basalt. It is only visible when the water level is low enough. Usually the water covers the sculpture. Watch this video and listen to hear what materials he used to make the sculpture. Why do you think the artist used the materials he used?
In this virtual field trip, we have seen various examples of people choosing to live in areas where natural resources are nearby. These are examples of the relationships between where people live and the physical geography of an area. We hope you have enjoyed this virtual field trip.